This is the topic no one wants to talk about. But it still happens every single day.
All right, this is the topic I really do not want to talk about, but I will anyway by popular demand. This one's going to be about bullying. And first thing I will say when it comes to bullying is that this is a universal subject kind of thing too. There's a lot of these things going on. I could probably guarantee that there's at least one instance of bullying somewhere around this nation and possibly around the world. I see bullying as someone that deliberately does harm to another person, both physically and mentally. And I've had my fair share. I can definitely start from the very top. Hopefully, have all the time that you need. I'm just joking. I'm not going to talk all about that, of course, because that's going to take most of the entire month. But what I will say is that we will figure out some little strategies to help deal with bullying at the school. One of the questions I usually get is how did I personally deal with the bullying? There were a few instances where I handle it in not so great ways, and I handle it in very great ways. Not so great as in getting into fights, that kind of stuff too. That stuff was it's just self-defense and that kind of thing. That's why I don't really like to talk about it too much because it's like I don't want to hurt people like that. It's one of those things where I always say it's like whenever I get bullied, I do not believe that it is a priority in order to bully back the bullies, kind of thing. It's like the way I see it. It's like when you get bullied, don't bully back. It's the way I see it is basically saying is it is what they want. When they kind of get to you, it starts a big fire, and then the fire starts to spread, and then it would affect other people that would not want to be a part of this. No one wants to be involved in a bullying situation. It's no fun. It's no fun for the victim. It's no fun for the victim's friends or family and all that kind of stuff too. But it must be dealt with. Absolutely. So the way I personally dealt with bullying is simply to not get involved. These are the good ways I've managed to figure out how to do. So, not getting involved. By this, I mean when they try to harass, I just don't give them the satisfaction of poking fun and to bring me down. No, instead, I just simply walk away. Now, walk away and don't say anything. But most of the things that I do happens to be not involving verbal communication. That's why I'm usually slow to find my words these days too, and that's why I kind of prefer to some silent alternatives, that kind of thing. Very silent, and I don't really talk that much, but I do believe that they work on my terms in that sort of sense. So I think it can be pretty easy. They may say some very rude stuff, but the way I like to see it is when you hear all these different things, don't hesitate to find a good, encouraging words from other people, whether it be from your parents or your good friends. They can definitely help you. In school, I do believe that it is very much important to reach out to people that feel like that they are alone. Now, reach out to people that they are in need, and I know sometimes it can be quite scary for these kind of things too. Maybe you're afraid to figure out what should I say? What should I say to them? And all that kind of thing too, because they are different from one another. And it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. All you have to do is just simply talk. Whether it can be just about anything. Talk about your favorite movies or favorite TV show, or what do you want to be when you grow up. It's pretty easy. Only when you start talking. Because I believe that people, children who feel neglected and alone, and they would definitely try to hide either a fear of saying the wrong thing out loud, or fear of people who may come off as being rude and may be a potential bully, that kind of thing too. Looks can be deceiving, but you just never know unless you give it a try. Try to get to know each other. Even if it's just a simple hello, or hi, Tyler. That's usually what I kind of get oftentimes in school is when people say hi, Tyler, and it always makes you feel good. It always makes you feel pretty well balanced, and that I'm being noticed and being appreciated, I guess you could say too. And I always say hi back. It feels very nice. And I'm no any better even during school, because after all those times of them being harassed and bullied at school and in summer camp, I just kind of one of the things I like to do is just to write whatever, write either feelings or if I write what my favorite stuff is. And a lot of times for the most of it, I would like to write stories. I don't really, I'm not really sure if I've ever shown most of my stories. I've shown a bunch of them down over in Population 1 and Becoming 1. Those are a few examples and that kind of stuff, but those are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to stories, and they comfort me. As an artist, I know people say that writing is an art, but I don't know. Sometimes I get mixed feelings about it, but in art, I always believe that art is freedom, and it's a crime for all artists to feel like they are limited to what they can or cannot do. And there are art out there that many people don't really like that much, or may not disagree. That's okay. There's a lot of things that I don't really like to look at when it comes to art, but I do believe that it is not my position to tell them what to draw and what not to draw, or what to make or what not to make when it comes to art in general, that kind of thing too. That's why I'm always such a humongous advocate when it comes to artists. It's comforting, to make them feel good. And there's this a line from the lyrics of one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite musicians, known as the Julia Dagger. And the line goes something on the lines of, "You don't have to get it, but I'm not going to explain it." If you know what this song is, feel free to leave it down in the comments. How to stop bullying in school once and for all, and to basically handle them, and how to deal with them, to negotiate with them, and learn how to be your own person when it comes to these areas. Because I still do get some bullying from time to time, whether it be offline or online, and it's a bummer. I do get sensitive about that, but the last thing I want people to see me in person is to let them get to me, and I do my very best not to do that. So that's why we like to talk about that before things get too out of whack. Just hang in there. I'm not giving up on you. I know it's difficult. So let's get back into the race. Thank you very much. There are no limitations, only adjustments. Good day.